Okay, we find ourselves out here now on verse number 4 of Luke chapter 10, and we've seen the three attitudes thus far in the passage we've been looking at for mission advance. And if we want to move forward, friend, those three attitudes are absolutely critical. We have to know we have a purpose, and that where Jesus has sent us in the midst of that purpose. It's not just willy-nilly go anywhere. It's a matter of finding that direction from the Lord. Second of all, we looked at the prayer and the partnership that's needed. That partnership is built off of prayer, and it's God that has to put together our hearts with some in whatever area we may go into so that they can end up doing the work and increase in the work as well. And we need to be praying that way. This isn't just an academic adventure that we're on. It's a spiritual move that must take place, and only our God can work these miracles in the hearts of people. And then third of all, we saw in verse number 3, we saw the willingness to pay a price. That attitude is tremendously critical. I fear too many today go out without having counted the cost, and once they begin to see that it's going to be a little bit of a price, they thought it was a glory trip, they wilt from the task before them, and they quit. Well, we don't need to go any further on that. Today now we move into the actions. There are 4 actions altogether, and we're going to take a look at verse number 4. Which is the first action involved if we're going to advance in this business of missions. Jesus says to his men, he says to them, carry neither purse, nor scrip, nor shoes, and salute no man by the way. Well, the first part of that I don't have any problem with. I don't carry a man bag, my friend. Let me tell you that right now. No purse. Now, when I first read this passage, I remember, well, let's stop for a moment. Okay, let's just move through the text real quick. The word scrip was a word which had the idea of a wallet, and of course a purse is a bag that carries money. And shoes, you know what those are, all right? And saluting is not talking about being a soldier, it's talking about greeting a person. Okay. When I first read this passage, I remember taking a look at it years ago, and I thought, why in the world would the Lord say, don't carry a purse and don't carry scrip? And I thought it must have something to do with go completely unprepared. And that's not, I don't believe, as I meditate on that passage over the years and have looked at it, I don't believe that's what Jesus was saying completely. Though I think there is a bearing there, certainly a bearing. When it comes to the business of indigenous missions, there's an awful lot to be said. But I believe there's one thing that this verse does emphasize. No purse and no scrip. No bag to carry money, filled with money. Don't take time for that. Most people wouldn't carry a bag of money around anyway. You'd have to go back to your house. And in Bible days, you didn't necessarily carry around a wallet, a scrip. You'd have to go back to your house for that. And shoes, well, often you'd travel wherever you were in the village without shoes on, but when you got ready for a trip, you'd go grab those shoes and stick them on your feet, or at least throw them over your shoulder so you'd be prepared along the way for some rough going. Well, all that speaks of one thing to me, and that is urgency. We need to go. We need to get busy about the task, and so many are busy sitting in the pews thinking about the task and saying they're preparing for the task and hope one day when they're 50 or 60 or 100, maybe they'll finally go and do something about the task. But they're never quite prepared, never quite ready. Well, I need to go work here. I need to go get some experience in this and that and all the other. And the truth is, our world is dying for want of the gospel. Friend, you and I need to take Jesus Christ, the message of the Savior, to this world, and we need to get busy about that job. Now, what in the world does saluting by the way have to do with that? Well, in America, we may be able to pass right over this in most cases and not get real connected with it. It's because what saluting has the idea of is greeting along the way. And in America, you know, it's just kind of easy for us to just kind of walk right on by a group of people and not even notice that they're there. We're on our way doing whatever we're doing for our task. But here in Africa, down in South America, relationships are a real big thing. And when people start out to go somewhere, it's not unusual for them to be a half hour late for wherever they're going. One simple reason, pardon the flies, if you will. One simple reason, they saw somebody who they noticed and maybe they already know. They have some acquaintance with, and so they had to stop and greet them along the way, and that took a long while. That's what Jesus was talking about. Don't get sidetracked. Get busy about your job. You have a job to do, and there's an urgency. Let's get busy. Let's get at the job that Jesus has given us. Well, we have a purpose, and let's get right to that purpose. That's what this verse is all about. Could I ask you the question, are you at the purpose of reaching men and women with the gospel of Jesus Christ? That's the command of our Savior here, not only to His disciples then, but friend, it's still His command and still His heart wish for you and I to be busy about His work. God bless you. We'll take a look at that next action in our next video.